Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of the Jam and Cheese Show. Cheese fresh off great performance, brilliant victory, a 79 minute and 52 second effort.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Deep breaths in that 8 seconds, mate. They looked an absolute shambles out there with while I was off for that 8 seconds. They were lost without me. That's why they got me straight back out there. I was hoping to go back on for Joey Manu in the centres, but the stars didn't align for me.
You know, when you came off, were you just like, oh, for fuck's sake?
Well, the whole Joey going down gave me about 2 minutes to sit down and relax. And I was just sitting next to Jazza talking shit, basically, and he goes, bro, stop talking shit and get up. You're about to go back on. And I looked up. I was like, oh.
Just when you thought it was safe to rest.
Yeah, but, unfortunately, I think Joey broke his hand. So I don't know how long that will be.
I read 4 weeks, so it could be a lot worse.
We did the same exact injury.
Really?
Yeah, two. I don't know if the video can see that. We broke down 2 bones in our hand. But I played 8 days later. No. So.
Just saying. You're a tough man.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, are
you tough or is Joey Manu the opposite?
No comment. Nah, Joey's tough, but not as tough as me. I think when you break a bone and they're not too important. I broke the 2 middle ones. If he broke the pointer finger one, I think it's a little bit more time off. But the plates just act as your bones. Like the plates and screws, essentially, you're not going to do much more damage.
You just got to wait for it to heal.
But
almost.
It just hurts, bro.
What the?
Oh, just when I played, it was so painful. And I played against Para, and they were grabbing my hand and stuff when I lost the ball 3 times.
Can you needle it or not?
Nah, because not as a hooker. But maybe if you dopey front row like yourself.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
Yeah.
You know what I liked about your performance yesterday? How pissed off you were when Tiger scored at the end.
Yeah.
I could see you were really annoyed at that.
Yeah, I guess because we were just chasing that zero. The whole chat in the second half was we don't care if we win by 26 points. We just got to finish this game out. And it was just so disappointing because you let the Robbo down sort of on his 300th game. He would have loved, to see a 0 on that score sheet, and it was just a terrible try too, one off the ruck. It's just one of those moments that you just wish you could have back. We probably didn't need a shift on that play with 50 seconds to go. We had 3 tackles up our sleeves, go down, kick the ball out. But when I was pretty sad. The whole team was pretty sad underneath the goalpost there, and Victor Radley just ran over and was like, "Put your fucking heads up, lads! Look how good we played."
Yeah.
And he kind of looked up at the scoreboard and go, "Yeah, it's actually not too bad." But yeah, you definitely want to ice that.
Did you do anything for Robbo's 300th?
No. Couple of there was a video. A couple of boys sending in a few videos. I actually sent one in and it didn't get played. I sent one. No, but all heaps of boys sent videos, and Nat Butcher sent one in. Tube sent one in, and it was only Jared's and Teddy's that got played. It's sweet.
Not made the cut. Unlucky.
And mine wasn't that great. It was what's your favourite memory of Robbo? I don't really have too many good ones at the moment.
Did you guys talk about it before the game? I guess it's a bit weird. I always found
not with Robbo around, but Teddy and Jared definitely had some words to say about honouring him and what he's done for this club and the success he's brought this club, and then just the words that were spoken after the game in the sheds, about from Boydo and just Jake Friend, and just how much impact they had on his career and how much they said he's impacted the Sydney Roosters as players and as men. So it was definitely good to get the win, and he was very, very happy after the game.
Yeah, nice little interview with Fletcher and Heidi as well, and Matty Jones.
Yeah. They said only footy questions. So I was like, yeah, no worries. I'll come have a chat. And then it wasn't just footy questions. But yeah, and then as soon as the interview finished, I said to our media manager, I was like, see, that dumb shit just slips out of my mouth. Like, I didn't even know what I was saying until I said it. And I like it was funny and not too serious.
Fair enough.
If it was one of them Triple M videos, Jesus, be all over the highlight, all over the paper.
those bloody people at Triple M. It's the producers. That's who I blame. Mate, big week for the Roosters. Angus Crichton re-signed. That's a huge coup. Yeah. Especially after his performance in Origin. Well, not just Origin, but for the Roosters this year, he's been immense.
Has there been a better turnaround season from one season to the other? Maybe Sean Johnson, but Gussie wasn't even playing NRL at all last year. You
know what? I've spoken about this a few times, and players go through form dips and slumps and have other things going on in their life, which, sort of mean that they don't perform at their peak. But for Angus Crichton to go away, work hard on himself and his game and put in that huge preseason that he did, but then to be told you're not in the best 17 and you're playing in the cup, like, that would break a lot of people. Yeah. Like, hang on, coach. You told me to go and fix my shit up. I have done. You told me to get fit. I have done. I've quote unquote done the proverbial train the house down, and you still don't pick me. Like, kick the toys out the pram. But no, he went away in New South Wales Cup and was the best on the ground. Yeah, he's come to the Roosters. He's been one of the best on ground each and every week, and then he's done it at State of Origin level. Like, and as well, he faced. All right, I've done all this stuff, and then you go and sign for Fita, but he still just keeps on turning up. Yeah. He seems like he's really made of strong stuff. Yeah, he's a country boy. But I just think, at the start of the year, when he was training the house down, they still were shopping him around. Well, we still were shopping him around. And, he never kicked on his lulls or, you know what I mean? Just always stayed true and knew what he had, knew a goal in mind, and that was to play Origin. He always had that in the back of his head. Did he? Yeah, him and Connor both, when they sort of built a good connection through the reserve grade side, and he never, and now he dictating terms. It's not the club going, oh, we'll give you this. It's now I'm taking this. Yeah, and it's just and you know what? Big listener of the show, Angus Crichton. Is he? He always talks to me about it after at training. So shout out to Angus Crichton. Thanks for listening, mate. Yeah. No, I mean, I genuinely mean it. Like, what a test of an individual's character. And he's more than passed the test, and he'll reap the rewards of his efforts for many years now, and he deserves it. Yeah. Like, you're right. Like, some people can take that and be victims, or some people can use that as fire to burn hard in the belly. Yeah. And produce what he's producing. And I guess, it's a big lesson on anyone that's going through similar situation. Yeah, well, hard work is the passport to success and anything that whatever you want to achieve in your life. I might write that one down. You like that? The passport to success is hard work. Get you places. You need a passport to travel. You need hard work to go places. It doesn't come easy. So big week for the Roosters. Obviously, the rugby union, Marky Mark, could potentially be coming in. There's a bit to cover there. I guess it's a bit of a watch this space. But the Bulldogs and the Sharks, brilliant game on Friday night, Golden Point extravaganza. But more importantly, there was a Kafusi on the line. Yeah, Kafusi haircut. A couple of our listeners, one a Sharks fan, one a Dogs fan. Ricky Galt is now getting a Sharks fan Ricky Galt is getting a Kafusi and the cheese. Is going
The
to do
skin
it.
fade mullet, the reverse mullet. Oh,
I
I don't know what you call it. It's putrid though, so I'm looking forward to making someone look just as putrid as Kafusi
Didn't
does.
this lad get it? Did I see that on the interview or something where like Kafusi's gone to the barbers and his little lad's got it?
Yeah, probably Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a Kafusi thing to do. I mean, when you're a kid and you want to just copy what your dad's doing, that's one thing you don't want to copy. I would never copy my dad's haircut, although he's quite luscious. My dad's got the Desi Hasler.
I see.
Yeah, like he's just very. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I don't want my dad's haircut. He's got the backwards beard. no, the beard just at the back.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, there was a bet on the line.
Yeah.
So if Nicho Hynes is feeling bad about his performance and not getting the 2 points, poor old Ricky Galt has got to get a Kafusi.
I wonder, do I get the razor out in that situation? I have to.
Yeah, I think you've got to. Yeah, because otherwise it's not going to look.
No, it's not really a Kafusi.
No, it's not a
haircut,
Kafusi, is it? No, it's not. You got to get that proper slap head action. But that game, it was a real, obviously, defensive orientated game. The pressure comes for Nicho, right? Which he missed that moment in terms of getting the field goal to win the game. But should the Sharks have been in that position, and does the same level of scrutiny come to those players that, Cam McInnes drops the ball in the first set, means they're defending their own line, then they give away a 6 again. Don't even know who gave the 6 again. That's not been highlighted. Pressure. They messed up the kick. Like, when the kick on the kick out kick. That's why I couldn't get it out. Kick house kick. Like they messed that up. Toby Rudolph gives a penalty away on Bailey Hayward, a tackle he didn't need to do.
Yeah,
no one's.
It was one of the all-time dives.
Probably, but yeah, but Rudolph was knackered.
Yeah.
And did it.
Yeah,
but no one goes, Cam McInnes, you did this. Toby did this. Like that. If those moments don't happen, they're not in that position. The set leading up to the field goal, they went too far. Talakai ran it too far. Obviously, that's not taking anything away from the fact Nicho should have got it. But those other moments aren't highlighted. And it sort of speaks to is there too much pressure or is there too much attention on one moment from one person when there's a multitude of other events that cost the Sharks?
Oh, absolutely. Like if you put Andrew Johns in a side that's forward pack couldn't run ball forward, like he's not the player he is, and like the halfback's job is to kick them out of trouble. Sometimes, but when you get inside the 20, you got to get there first, and you got to, I guess, give your halfbacks time to play. And I think that's what we're doing very well at the Roosters at the moment, is the forward pack's playing that power game really strong, and Luke Keary and Sammy Walker, they're getting all the time in the world to kind of manipulate the defence. And there's a few brain snaps that happened probably in that Sharks game, and it's unfortunate that Nicho cops it all. I don't know why. I guess he is the star player in that team, but they've got a lot of other star players. They've got Blake Brayley. They've got Toby Rudolph's a great player. Cam McInnes, like you said, an Origin player. There's not much scrutiny getting put on those sort of players, and you're absolutely right. But they probably did have the opportunities that they needed to win that game. Yeah, but even that drop goal at the end, I heard the ref say after it, he said if you got it, it probably would have been a penalty. Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah, because the lead runner was standing right in. The ball runner was right in the path of Nicho's kick, so it altered the pressure of the kick. Right. Yeah, and they the ref. I remember watching it. And he went up to the guy and goes, "If that went over, it might have been a penalty against you." Yeah. Like I don't know if he said for sure, but when I watched the replay, he's running straight for Nicho, and then he has to go around the guy, which is dead set would have got pulled back. So
there's something else that we don't
There was another one, wasn't there?
There was one that, one that Nicho, quote unquote, missed. It was a penalty.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's the reason I bring it up is because I think he gets, he's one of the players that gets unfair criticism. Sorry, I shouldn't say unfair criticism, but too much of a spotlight because he should nail that.
He takes the workload of pretty much all the bad things that the Sharks are doing, whether he does it or not.
Yeah, exactly. So, just interestingly in that game, speaking about referees, you know what I loved? Half time, there was a bit of a melee going on, Reid Marnie and Nicho into each other. The referee said, if that happens again, someone's going to go to the sin bin. And they didn't do it. Nobody did it again.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's brilliant refereeing. And obviously, the referees and their decisions come under the spotlight, the bunker. But I thought that was great refereeing to say, cut it out or you go. Even in State of Origin, people are saying, oh, they shouldn't have.
Yeah,
they shouldn't have been patted the head. Carrigan. Oh, sorry. They go for the little rub on the head.
Yeah. Well, he said if anyone runs in again, there'll be people sitting on the sideline, and true to his word.
I've got no issue with you can argue.
Do you think now if that happens again, Liam Martin will rub his head?
Well, you shouldn't.
I don't think so.
Like, and I get like it's there's a lot on the line. It's State of Origin, but if we don't like people running in, and the referee warns you, the referee had to act, otherwise he loses complete control of the game. And also, sometimes in games like that, when a team's got a score on, it can turn pretty nasty pretty quick. So I thought that, and Origin was last week, we moved on, but I thought it was great refereeing, and you've got to give them credit where credit's due. Onto the football, the race for the 8 is insane. 13 teams legitimately with a chance.
Yeah.
It's a log jam in the middle there, and with the Cowboys win yesterday, that has catapulted them into the 8. They've got a lot of things going well for them. I thought they would resign to defeat by not picking their Origin players and making that statement early. I thought they looked at who they were playing and went, what's the point? But they've still got 2 byes to go. 6 of their last 8 games are at home as well. They've won 5 out of their last 6. They're really starting to make a statement, the Cowboys.
They are, and they're flying right at the right time. And it's good because they're living up to the expectations that we already had of them. Obviously, last year was a huge disappointment, but they've got a really, really good side on paper. But the good thing about the Cowboys is that they've won 4 of the last 5, like you said, but 2 of them were against the Penrith Panthers and us, the Roosters.
Yeah.
And both times they had 5 Origin players out, but they had them out against us. And
yeah, they did, yeah.
When your side, is trying to rest their players and get them ready for the finals footy, hopefully, just knowing and having that confidence in your other teammates that are ready to go, that's a huge thing for the coach, Todd Payton. And, the pressure was on him this year. The pressure was on him. It was starting to look a bit grim for him. And I'm just really happy for it because I've got a good relationship with Todd Payton. He was my under-20s coach. He's a hell of a coach. And, that pressure's really been deflated at the moment. And they've still got 2 byes to go. So they're 2 wins ahead of any team chasing the 8. So that's huge right now. And I think they're going to be in the finals.
Yeah, I think,
if not, they're a genuine chance at the top 4.
Yeah. Well, I think Melbourne are locked in the top 4, and then it's you guys, Sharks, and Penrith. It's hard to see who they knock out of the top 4 because all those teams either have favourable runs or all of them are like serious premiership contenders. So the logjam's insane, and those 13 teams that are in the shout for finals at this stage, no South Sydney and no Parramatta. So 2 teams that are full of stars aren't going to be playing finals. Just speaks about how good the competition is. I wonder if it's a flow-on effect from the Dolphins coming in. That 17th team probably spread the talent pool out a little bit more, and that's creating these closer contests. And, we've had unpredictable seasons where we don't know who's gonna beat who on a week-to-week basis. It's a nightmare for tipsters, but I don't know. There's something about this year that is.
Yeah, well, I feel like we were talking about it last year as well. As like us, the Roosters, we just scraped in.
Yeah, you went on that massive run, didn't you?
We just scraped in the 8, and we won on pretty much points for and against. I think Canberra dropped out or something.
No, Canberra stayed in.
Oh, Canberra stayed in.
Souths were 12 and they had 12 wins, 12 losses, and they didn't make finals last year.
Yeah, so I think, whatever we're doing with rugby league at the moment, we've got a great product, and it's good because it brings back all those fans that are just over the shit.
Yeah, well, it makes every game like genuinely interesting.
Yeah,
and especially at such a late stage in the year where other competitions throughout the world that aren't as competitive can dwindle, and teams can start to think about next year. But there's plenty happening. One of those teams that are in the mix, but really are a top 4 team is the Brisbane Broncos. They're just on a massive slide. They haven't won since Magic Round, where they beat Manly by a point. They are
what's that?
Struggling.
6 games.
They've had a couple of buys in there, but yeah, they're in a massive hole.
Yeah, the bad thing about the buys is everyone gets those wins. So
yeah,
they're starting to head into dangerous territory. Like what would they would need 6.
They're on 7 wins.
Yeah, so they need about 5 to 6 wins.
You need 13 wins. Then they've got Penrith this week. Then they play the Dragons, where both teams will be without their Origin players. But a danger one post Origin is Newcastle. So will they back their players up? I mean,
you'd almost have to.
They're in that territory, geez, of like they may have to. They actually may have to.
They've also got Melbourne, I'm pretty sure.
They've got Melbourne last game of the season.
Yeah. See, that'll be a tough one.
Yeah, they're on such a. Yeah, they've lost their last 4 in a row.
I think it just it really goes to show how big of an impact Adam Reynolds is to that team, and it'd be interesting to see what their steps moving forward, because Adam Reynolds hasn't got that much longer to go.
No, mate. You know what? As well, I was looking at this. Like, sometimes you can look back at a season and a couple of the difference a couple of wins or a couple of losses make. Like, with all due respect, they lost the game against the Titans that they just threw away.
Yeah, literally that centre threw it over his head.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They blew that one. They come down to Sydney and South Sydney, who are in the bottom 4. They lose to them. Like, those 2 victories, and it's a different kettle of fish. You win those 2 games, and they're on 9 wins, and they're looking like they might make the top 4, where you can only afford a few of them. Otherwise, they're in. I don't think they will, but they're in danger of not making the 8. If they've got to get their shit together and get it together quickly.
Yeah, they are in serious danger because I see. See, I see the Dragons. I hope they probably won't win next week, I hope, but I see them building as a quality side, and I feel like they can notch a few wins together. And the Bulldogs, their defense is just, one of the best I've seen in the comp, and they don't have superstar players, but they defend well and they work hard for each other. So I see them in the 8. I see them notching a few more wins together. So that there's not many spots available.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys and the Bulldogs are set in finals for me. I think the Dragons are iffy, and then obviously the
Dolphins, with no Marshall King, it looks like he's going to miss a decent chunk of football. Like, they could struggle. They got some tough games coming up as well. They might struggle to remain in the 8. But
genuinely in dangerous territory for the Broncos, and I don't know when Reynolds is back, but they're missing that maturity and attack and being able to put the team in the bad spots. And you just go to show what a kicking game can do. You go and look at that Sharks game just gone. They were getting pulverized for most of the game. and Matt Burton would just send a 70-meter kick and just go, well, let's defend up again. And it's just what Mitch Moses did in the Origin, just boom, straight down the thing, chase the kick, put him in the corners, and just go. Like if you've got the lead, just go, mate, you're gonna have to take it from us.
Yeah, I reckon with the Broncos, like you've got what you've got, and Reynolds isn't coming back until like round 22 or 23, I think. So I reckon they've got Origin, which is a distraction and a drain on your resources in terms of like your ability to focus, because they've only really got, like I say, they've got this game against Penrith, and then Origin will come along. But really, I think the person I'd look to is Carrigan to say like, right, come on boys, stop fucking about here. Like we're too good for this shit, but there's no point in being too good and being spoken about how all potential. Let's get our shit together here. I reckon he's probably the man that they would listen to and say like, okay, well, we're going to follow your lead. And sometimes the Broncos, they do play an expansive style, but maybe just tightening things up a little bit based off him, and just let's focus on those effort areas, and let's maybe try and find a different way to win, like scrap our way to a win as opposed to try and play our way to a win.
Yeah. I'm assuming that Carrigan's already had that talk with them. You'd assume so, and it's hard because you're looking to a 23-year-old to pull together a team that's, the most followed team in the NRL. It's it's a big job for, like, you'd still call him a kid of the game.
Is he only 23?
Yeah, he's like 2 years younger than. Oh, is it? How old is he?
No, he'd be like 26, wouldn't he?
I don't know. I thought he was young as.
Nah. Yeah, 26. 23.
Can we cut that whole bit out?
Nah, leave it in.
Yeah, well, I thought he was younger, but still, you're.
Yeah, I know.
Like when we're going through trouble, we can look to Tedesco, Jared. Dragons will look to Ben Hunt, people like that. But now you've got to look to your. Maybe it's something that Reynolds should be having a word to the team about, but he can't impact the game in that way.
I don't know.
It's a. They're in a tough spot.
They are. Again, you spoke about just how impressive the Dragons have been. Coach Flanagan, I think, what he's done with that group, because they didn't really sign anyone that I can think. Like they brought in. Yeah, Fate Alamarana.
That's a great song.
Yeah, but other than that, no, it's basically the same squad.
They're just they play tough. Sometimes they can be inconsistent, but it was weird. They were down 6-0 at halftime, and I remember Cooper Cronk said, I think the Dragons are going to win. And everyone was like, what makes you say that? And he goes, they've got the momentum, they're looking strong. And I just couldn't believe how smart he is. 372 games. I thought he'd be a little bit dumber, but he's pretty onto it. And my top 8 prediction for the Dragons at the start of the year, maybe I'm pretty smart too.
Well done, Chief. Well done.
So I am biasly supporting them.
Yeah, well, they're doing really well.
I think you had the Dogs, so you're doing pretty good too.
Yeah, two geniuses, jam and cheese. Good win for the Knights over Para. Good to see Will Price get his NRL debut. His mum and dad and little brother were over. It was pretty funny, his post-game interview. But
he loves the boys, man.
Yeah, it was nice to see just how excited he was, because it's such a big deal for a young English kid to come over here and make their NRL debut. Like, I know all debuts are special, and young lads have dreamed about this since as far back as they can probably remember. But for an English kid to come over at such a young age, where the NRL's on such a pedestal, like it's massive. Like, well done to him, and that nice little try, and we'll be seeing more of him in first grade.
Yeah, well, he's an energizer bunny, isn't he? He's just non-stop, and even on the field, and that sort of thing is infectious, and he seems like a confident lad. So it's like when you're playing in the NRL, and you got someone that's debuting and bringing all that energy to the side, it's very infectious, and it makes you want to win for that guy. And No, I was pretty impressed with his performance, and Ponga back round 19. That's going to be a huge in, and they could make a late run for the finals as well, putting pressure on the Broncos also.
Just like they did last year. Like, I think it was about this time last year where people were saying, O'Brien's going to lose his job. He basically had conceded he was going to go, and then they just put this run together. So the Knights aren't out the race for the 8 by any stretch of the imagination.
Do it for Adam O'Brien, boys.
They're on 7 wins. Speaking of England, Cheese, England are through to the quarterfinals. So,
do you know who that is?
Like the person walking past the studio
with the
or
music?
the song? No.
That's our mailman.
It's what?
I know that's our mailman. He's walking. Yeah, he delivers the mail all the way past my house and just blasts music.
Really?
Yeah. He's this little mouldy guy. You
And
can have a look if you want.
Does he not get him a pair of earphones or something?
Bro, it's sometimes my alarm. He's like 8:30 in the morning. He's just like walking down with his trolley and he's just got his music blasting. And I said hello to him and he told me that he delivers to Lindsay Collins, who just lives up the street. So
You shouldn't. If you're a mailman, you shouldn't be gossiping about whose mail you deliver. Oh, I've got this for Lindsay. Do you want, or like, maybe if you can't be, I just pass that to Lindsay at training for me, mate.
That's our mailman.
Yeah.
I know it. He listens to country and Mouldy songs. That's why, because I could hear a Mouldy song the other morning. I was like, what the hell is that? And I like walked out and it's like, Jibbo. I was like, fuck. Shut the door real quick.
See you later.
Just close the pit door. Thought I was the only one here. Damn it.
Yeah, England through to the quarterfinals. I'm buzzing with that. Jude Bellingham. What a goal!
Did he get Ballon d'Or?
No, he got Real Madrid's Player of the Year, but I don't think he got that. But with the international flavour. And speaking of England, I'm actually embarrassed about England Rugby League and I don't even know if you can call it a crowd. They played France. Do yourself a favour. Put it on. I kind of don't even know if you want to highlight this because it's that embarrassing.
I don't even know. When did
England played France on Saturday. A double header in Toulouse. It is beyond embarrassing. It is so bad, the amount of people that are there. It's just... Like, I love international rugby league. Like, loved playing for my country. I felt sorry for the lads that had to endure playing at such in front of, like, a couple of people and their dog. That's not what you should be looking at the pinnacle of our sport is. Like, it was disgraceful. Man, it was like it actually pissed me off. Like, oh man, alive! It was so embarrassing. Like for international rugby league to have that. Like, there's no excuse. You cannot offer me an excuse to why you play a game in Toulouse, a double header against France, and mate, if you go on KO and have a look at it, and you'd be like,
doesn't look like I want to.
Mate, you'd be like, you'd be shocked.
Really...
You'd be shocked at how bad it is, mate. It's that, and like they've got some tin. Well, I'm not going to criticize the production company, but they didn't get BBC, Channel 4, or Sky to do the game. Like,
who was commentating?
I had genuinely no idea who was commentating the game as well. Like, I put it on, and mate, it was that bad. I turned it off. I knew the result, but
what was the score?
They won 40 points to 4, I think it was. But mate, it's that bad.
I didn't even know it was on.
Yeah. Well, there's. I mean, I get that. Like the mid-season test against France, I've played in a few of them, and like, yeah, I understand why.
Yeah, but surely you can, like, in Australia, they can also promote it to help the international game.
I don't know if it's on Australia to promote it or, like, make people aware of it, but you wouldn't want to know it was on. It's that bad. It is... Oh, it is... I'm embarrassed. I felt so bad for the lads that are there trying to sing the anthem in front of no one. And then you've got the dignitaries coming around shaking your hand. This is supposed to be like a proud moment in someone's life.
Yeah. Who's the dignitaries?
Like, when I don't know who they were. They go along when when you line up and sing the anthem. They come and everyone shakes their hand. It's like, what is? Oh man, it was so annoying, and I felt for these lads that were like supposed to be dreaming of playing for England, and that's what you get. Mate, honestly, do yourself a favour and like just.
I felt like our games were massive.
Do the first 5 minutes and you'd be like, oh my god, I've not even watched any of the play because it was disgraceful.
Did you have to turn it off?
Mate, it was just there's no appeal to watch it.
Yeah,
there's actually no appeal to watch it. Anyway, I wanted to get that off my chest because it's been pissing me off, as you can probably tell. Just on the Euros, cheese. I'm in a bit of a dilemma. England plays Switzerland in the early hours of Sunday morning at 2 a.m. But I've got work on Sunday.
That's all right. Go
12.
to bed earlier.
So what would you do? Would you go to bed at like...
Oh, you got work at 12?
On Sunday.
Grow up.
What do you mean?
That's what I would... Mate, watch the game, go back to sleep, wake up at 8, 9.
I'm not just going to watch the game, am I? Just...
Yeah, actually, you'd be fired up.
Like, you're not just like sat at home watching, finishes at 4. All right, night. You're going to be like, if you go to like Cheers bar maybe.
Well, you know what you do? You start drinking the beers at 9 p.m. through to the game.
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to go to sleep.
Yeah. I might go to Cheers bar and watch it. I'm in that bit of a dilemma.
There's places play it at 2 a.m. Actually, the Pig and Whistle. I used to go to the Pig and Whistle in Brisbane. It's a pub, and every World Cup, that just pops off.
Oh, the Star would have it on as well. But I think...
And, mate, some of the bloody anthems that you guys sing is just absolutely woeful.
Woeful? Oh, the songs.
Like, directed at one guy and just absolutely demolishing him.
Yeah, that's what being a football fan's all about. It's half of the fun.
I actually seen this video the other day. It's like, this thing's falling, by the way. It was like American fans singing their songs. And it's like, go team, you're the best. And then English was like, your granddad is a horse. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Defense. It's, the English are good with their songs. We've got questions for listeners. Questions from the listeners. I'm just going to put it out there, listeners. You've been a bit disappointing this week. Like some of them aren't questions. Someone's just put up the mighty Roosters, and then there's an emoticon of a rooster, a strong arm, a praying hands, and a blue heart. I mean, that's not a question, is it? I don't get, yeah. And then someone... Always love how Cheese is so positive on other teams and how critical on his own. But again, that's not a question.
I rubbish some teams.
Okay,
and then they beat us.
How good was post-game interview with Matty Johns and then a crying face? I mean, that's how good.
Does it have a question mark after?
Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't, but how good? Very good. Brilliant. Here's a good question from Daniel WOOD. Wood, but with 2 O's. I mean, not wood with 2 O's. 2 zeros. 2 zeros. Wood with 2 zeros. Oh, it could be like wood.
Daniel WOOD.
No, because it's
Wood with it's Wood
Daniel
with 2
Wood
zeros.
with 2 zeros. But it could be Daniel Wood, like WOULD.
Actually, I was just thinking. You know the letter F? Lazy bastard.
So say again. The letter F.
Yeah, but the only time. How many times do you hear the word like F, but there's no F in it? Like laugh, rough, tough. There's no F. Like, you could easily just put an F there instead, but he's a lazy bastard. He is.
What are you going on about?
Mate, and like rough, when you bark, you need 2 Fs because he's that lazy.
My God.
You know
Are
what I
you
mean?
joking?
But GH, how does GH, mate? I was just, you're English.
I know.
You know what I mean? And then, like, the word, you go tough, and then you put a HR in there that's through.
Very complicated, the English language.
Yeah.
It is.
Very
You know, I was reading my daughter.
All I'm saying is the letter F, do more.
Do more, letter F.
Yeah.
Or you can fuck off.
That's that. It does get used to more that one.
Actually, my daughter was reading a book, and it said something. Like, you forget read and read are the same. They're spelt the same. They shouldn't be. Like, if I read something or I read it.
Reedy. Brent Reed.
Brent
Could
Reed.
be Brent Red.
Could be Brent. That's maybe.
Does Brent Reed or does Brent Red?
That'll be. Do you change your name when you die to Brent Red?
That's actually a good one.
It's good though, isn't it?
That was very. Maybe you asked him this.
You know what? I've literally just been with him. I'm going to ask him that. I'm going to say, Reedy, when you die, will you be Brent Red? Sorry, Daniel Wood with 2 zeros. Who's got
Daniel Woodov?
Daniel Woodov, yeah, when he's dead as well. Who's got ringworm at the Roosters at the minute? That's the question.
Connor Watson's. Oh man, what I was talking about that dirt am I?
Yeah, it looks bad.
Connor Watson.
Yeah,
he's got ringworm at the moment.
No, it's bad. Ringworm and football clubs is.
You get these badges. Say you did 50 ice baths or something. That fucking eyebrows just piss me off.
What, you get a bad.
Mate, I've got this dirt in my eyes.
Looking at me like that.
You get like a little badge given by one of the boys. I can't reveal his name. It's like if you've done 50 ice baths or whatever. And I actually got given a big Band-Aid put on my locker because I had the biggest ringworm in the club. These badges are meant to be badges of honour.
Where
I had it on my back. It was like...
Really? For the listeners of the show, Cheese was making a circle around about...
It was about 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres. It was that big. And it was disgusting. I used to hide it so bad as well. I used to put I'd walk out of the shower and instead of having the shower, like the towel wrapped around my bottom half, I'd just have it over the top of my shoulder. Walking, willy wanging around.
But ringworm was disguised.
Mate, and it was just woeful. I'd never shower with my back turned to the boys. I kept it on wraps for a bit, and then Connor Watson, he finally seen it one day, and I said, "Don't you fucking tell anyone. Don't you tell anyone about this." He goes, "I won't. And then somehow everyone found out.
I wonder why. Of course you're gonna tell. Of course you're gonna tell that your mate's got ringworm. Kind of get.
But Connor's just always got like infections like that or something.
All right, well, that's a good way to wrap it up. Listeners, if you could please provide some better questions, although it was quite comical.
Yeah.
Lazy Fs.
We made do.
We made do. We'll catch everyone next week. Please also as well, like, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, we are pushing for 15,000 followers. So it does help and it does make a difference if you support the podcast. So, yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.